What would you need to know to find the volume of this rectangular prism? For example, how many unit cubes would it take to fill this rectangular prism altogether? In this lesson, you will learn how to describe cubic volume measures by using what you know about geometric solids. Let's review some of the things you know. You already know a lot about shapes. There are many different types of polygons, like rectangles and squares. Each polygon has sides, and you can calculate how long a side is by measuring its length or its width. If you add up all the measures of the sides around the shape, that's called measuring the perimeter. If you measure how many little squares it takes to cover it, that's called measuring its area. You also know a lot about the differences between 2- and 3-dimensional solids. 2-dimensional shapes are flat. They have only 2 dimensions, length and width. There are many different types of 3-dimensional shapes. They have faces, edges, and vertices. They have 3 dimensions because they have inside space. And when you measure that inside space, that's called measuring the volume. 3-dimensional solids are 3-dimensional because they have 3 dimensions. They have length, they have width, and they have height. Kids get mixed up sometimes when describing geometric solids because of all the different names there are for geometric terms. This lesson is going to help you remember all the important names you'll need to remember to help you describe measuring the volume of a 3-dimensional solid. Any 3-dimensional solid with rectangular faces anywhere on the solid is classified as a prism. Do you see rectangles on these 3-dimensional solids? Where do you see them? Do you see any others? When all the faces in the solid are rectangular, these are named rectangular prisms. A cube is a special kind of rectangular prism. They are special because all of the faces and the edges and the vertices are equal in size. To measure something, you need to know what units you are using. Let's start with thinking about measuring length. Sometimes things look bigger or smaller when projected on a screen. If you wanted to know exactly how long that length is, it says it's 1 centimeter, but to really find out, you'd need to get a measuring tool out and measure it. For the purposes of this lesson, though, we'll say that that blue line is exactly 1 centimeter in length. If we join those 1 centimeters together to 4 of them, we would make a square, and we would say the area of that square is 1 square centimeter, and the way we write it is 1 centimeter squared down at the bottom. When we join 6 of them together, the square centimeters, they become the faces on a cube. A cube that is exactly 1 centimeter on each edge has a volume of 1 cubic centimeter. We say 1 cubic centimeter, but we write it like you see it down at the bottom of the screen there, 1 centimeter cubed. The volume of a rectangular prism tells you how many cubes of a given size it takes to fill the prism. So the volume of the prism is measured in cubic units. The bottom of any solid is known as its base. When you fill it with unit cubes, you can count the volume of the base layer. Finding the volume of the base can help you to compute the total volume of a rectangular prism. We'll talk more about the base in another lesson. In this lesson, you have learned how to describe cubic volume measures by using what you know about geometric solids.